Okay, welcome back to Mrs. Katz class. Today we're going to be doing something pretty fascinating. It's Wordly Wise, Lesson 7. I know, I'll just wait for the applause to die down. Okay, so let's start. So first, I have to take off my glasses, because this is the glamorous part of the video, and so I need to, get my glamour on here. So I'm going to read the words to you, and I'm going to pronounce them correctly, and then you're going to repeat them at home. That's everyone. You too, Mom and Dad, and Ellen DeGeneres, because I know you're watching my videos. Okay, so here we go. Ready, Ellen? Awesome. Here we go. Okay. Claustrophobia. Colleague. Condescend. Contingent. Daunt. Deluge. Huh? That's a toughie, huh? Deluge. Look at the pronunciation there. It's very weird looking, isn't it? That's the way it goes. Dispel. Dub. Fanfare. Fledgling. Inane. Metal. Negligible. Protract. And replica. Feel free to rewind and watch that over and over so that you get the pronunciation absolutely perfect, because the truth of it is, that you can't use a word that you aren't pronouncing properly. But the reason I'm pausing is, wait, perfectly. If you're not using it perfectly, then there's really no point in using it at all. So here we go. Okay, claustrophobia. The definition, do you have your pencil in your hand? A pencil writing implement looks like this. Oh. Or a pen. It's fine, but you should be taking notes, because remember, the high school, they were talking about how you guys really need to take notes more and use your ears. So listen and write. Claustrophobia, an abnormal fear of narrow, enclosed spaces. So phobia is always going to mean fear of. And claustro, I'm not exactly sure what the definition is, but it's confined spaces. So fear of confined spaces, which can be, some people it's elevators, some people it's little tiny boxes, which I hope you really don't crawl in, because A, it's weird, and B, you won't be able to breathe for long. That'd be bad. The next word is colleague, an associate or co-worker of similar status. So Mrs. Nolan is my colleague, Mr. Novak is my colleague, my dog Sweetie is not my colleague, but I do love her, and I know you do too. Sweetie. All right. I made myself laugh. Yeah, laughing at my own jokes. I'm alone in a classroom right now teaching. It's very weird. Okay, anyway. Condescend, to lower oneself to a position one considers inferior. That's the verb form. The other, actually they give you two ways to use it as a verb, or to behave in an offensively superior manner. They're very related. So if I condescend to you, I say, Adam, do you have a pencil? It is an implement that has lead in the bottom, except it's not really lead, it's graphite. Okay, and we use that to write on our papers. See, I'm treating you like an idiot. And if I treat you like an idiot, I'm condescending, which is really, well, that would be just rude of me. And if I did that a lot, I would expect you to be like, Mrs. Katz, are you being condescending? Because it would be rude. We don't want that. So don't condescend to other people. They also have the adjective form, condescending, showing an offensively superior manner. Boys and girls, when I was your age, I always had my assignment notebook, and I always did my homework, and I never caused trouble in class. You see, that's how your generation is different from mine, which is A, not true, and B, rude, and 3, ding, 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 condescending. Don't do it. Contingent. This word is a little bit more abstract. Conditional, depending on something else. Okay, so good grades are contingent on hard work and understanding the material and being able to demonstrate that. It relies on it. It also says likely. The second adjectival definition is likely, but not certain to happen, possible. If it rains, our contingent plan is to move the strawberry festival from the school lawn to the auditorium. Noun, a group that is part of a larger one. So I feel like I've done this before. I probably have like 25 times. So contingent. So a contingency, the Ethiopian contingent led the parade of Olympic athletes into the stadium. That group of the Ethiopians were a contingent of the larger group of Olympic athletes. So it's a smaller part that is represented within a larger part. So you could say the basketball contingent is going to be focused on at the next pep rally, which we haven't had in a long time here, by the way. And speaking of pep rallies, I think it's time for a dance break. Am I right? So here we go.
Touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. My music. So
That's enough of that. All right, the next word, daunt, to discourage or intimidate. Intimidate means to make somebody feel uncomfortable or nervous or overwhelmed by your behavior. So learning that she needed a bone marrow transplant did not daunt Miranda, but instead gave her hope for the future. It did not intimidate her. It didn't make her break her down. She was able to rebound from that or not be intimidated. So difficult or dangerous as to discourage or intimidate. So again, it's related. The adjective form is very similar, just simply, to be honest, not a word I use a whole lot. I would basically, I think if I'm going to use that word daunt, I think I might say the task was daunting. It intimidated me. For example, the only way, I guess, I would say maybe even this whole flipped classroom thing, if I think about it too hard, it's daunting. That's why I don't think about it much, which I think is pretty evident in my presentation. Okay, so next word, deluge. Deluge. Classe diga deluge. Oh, deluge. A downpour of rain, a flood of anything, a flood, to flood or overwhelm. So it can be an actual flood, like we've had recently, where it was just raining, 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 raining. That's just a literal deluge of gushy, gushy water. But it could be, you could have a deluge of homework. Wouldn't you be sophisticated if you said to your parents, if they were saying to you, like, hey, why didn't you get all your homework done? You say, hey, listen, I wanted to. I really did, but I had such a deluge that I did not have enough time to do it all. Isn't that a shame? I think they might find that more impressive if you use the word deluge than you were like, it was a ton of homework, and I was like so like completely bummed out about it, and it was like a lot, like a super lot, especially if you spelled a lot, A-L-O-T with no space. And then they would be like, what? I don't think that's really legit, you know? So you use a super cool word, and you're going to sound like a super cool, smart person, and then people are going to listen more to what you have to say. Or your parents may not even know what deluge means. Did you ever think of that? They don't know what it means, and they're like, wow, this kid must be getting an excellent education. I think I'll back off. So, just saying. All right, next word, dispel, to clear away, to remove, to get rid of, as if by scattering. Sometimes I dispel. And now I'm trying a starburst, you know? I'm like, wah! It's pretty rare, though. Not really much one for giving away candy, but occasionally that I do. I could dispel rumors. That's a nice thing to dispel, saying, hey, listen, I know you all heard that I was going to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. No. It's just a rumor. It's Jimmy Fallon. I'm going to be on the Jimmy Fallon show, okay? So that would be dispelling rumors, okay? And dub, to give a title, nickname, or description to. His fans dub Babe Ruth the Sultan of Swat. It almost sounds like Sultan of Sweat. I guess that was cool back in the day. Anyway, so a dub is like a cute little nickname, you know. Or you give each other stuff like that all the time, I suppose. Come up with your own example and write it down right there in the book. Fanfare, a sounding of trumpets or other brass instruments, a showy display. So it sort of sounds like this. Dun, da, 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 dun, 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 dun. That's fanfare. But sometimes people will use fanfare also as more symbolically, like you might say, boy, you know, like when I came back from being sick, everyone's like, ah, my skin, Katz, you were sick, and now you're back, and I'm so excited, yay! I'm so, oh, I really appreciate the fanfare. You're not really playing trumpets for me, which you could. And I would be like, and I would feel pretty comfortable with that. Yeah, if I walked into my classroom after being gone and you had lined the doorway with trumpets the way they do in fairy tales, I would be cool with that. Anyway, fanfare. All right, fledgling, a young bird just learning to fly, a young and inexperienced person. So a fledgling is just a beginner, a baby beginner, and at one point or other we were all fledglings, or a baby bird learning to fly, which is not used symbolically, but actually a baby bird learning to fly is a fledgling. And I think it's time for a dance break. Am I right, MC Hammer? Yeah! All right, here we go. I'm going to do what he does. Oh, he's doing this, like, oh. Okay, that's enough of that. All right. The next word's kind of funny. Are you ready? Get ready to laugh out loud. It's so funny. Inane. Empty, shallow, or silly. Some might think my dance breaks are inane. I happen to think they're extremely valuable. Cardiovascular fitness should not be underestimated, and it helps your brain respiration. And little breaks help too, but it means empty, shallow, or silly. And I think this could be a really valuable word because it's sort of like, don't tell me when I said this, okay? Because I'm a teacher saying the S word, stupid, okay? It's kind of like stupid, like, oh, don't be inane. It's so inane. What an inane idea. And if you said it with a British accent, you could go all Downton Abbey on your friends. I think it might sound even a little bit more sophisticated. So you could call people stupid, or you could say, don't be inane. You say just like that. Okay. And then meddle. Again, this is like kind of a Downton Abbey word, a Britishy sort of word. We don't usually use this here in the United States, but it doesn't hurt to learn it. Courage to bear up under difficult circumstances or spirit. In spite of the soldiers' threats, the children showed their mettle. It's like they're tough inside, sort of stiff upper lip, which the British did during World War II, which we'll learn about later in the year. They certainly did carry on in spite of their city being bombed at night. They were like, the next morning, they're like, I'm going to put on my cute little hat and my very smart little suit, and I'm going to go to work anyway. If I have to climb over this rubble, I'm going to get there. They had mettle, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and the next one, negligible, small, and unimportant, not worth noticing. Usually it's talked about in terms of amounts. There was a negligible amount of rain last night, or snow, or what's the example they give here? Blah, blah, blah. The mistakes were negligible. Just like, a little bit. Not important. We do a negligible amount of dancing here at school, in my class, which is English class, which makes sense. If this was dancing class, then that would be weird. You'd expect to do a lot of dancing, not a negligible amount. Whatever. All right, last we have protract. Oh, no, it's not last. Oh, no. Wait until you hear the last word that I have, because not only is it going to be fun, I have a visual. Yeah. Just fasten your seatbelts and wait. All right, here we go. Protract, to draw out or lengthen in time. Our trip was protracted unnecessarily by driving right past the correct exit. Thanks, Worldly Wise. That was a really interesting sentence. That really helps me understand. How about, I wish that the school day was not protracted and that winter break was. That, my friends, is something you can relate to. And I think Worldly Wise folks, I love Worldly Wise, I do, but your sentences are a little out of touch. I'm just saying, if you want to hire me in the summers to help you rework this so it's a little more student-friendly, I'm happy to do so. And the last one, replica. A copy or reproduction, especially one on a smaller scale than the original. So, I have a replica with me that kind of goes along with Fanfare. You ready? Check this out. I have a replica of Cinderella's coach. Okay? See, it's a little replica. I'm holding it in my hands. You know what it really is? It's actually a, can I show this to you? Let's see here. I know this is fascinating and important stuff, and you want an education. Look, it's actually a little wheel that I can put the gerbils in so they can get some exercise. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's basically all I have for you today. I'm sure you learned a lot. I hope you will use all of these words, and I will see you, Mogro, back here when I see you. Yeah, over and out. Peace out, M-Town. Let's do one more dance break, right? You can't see my legs, but I'm doing exactly what MC Hammer's doing. I am. I swear it. And I even have on those puffy pants that he has on in the video. No, I don't.